Hi guys, welcome back to Impactor. We have covered the motor cortex and the sensory cortex, and today let's have a look into the cortical areas that helps in the sensory and association function of our sense organs: visual, auditory, gustatory, olfactory and vestibular cortices.
Areas of special sensation. Visual area or visual cortex is located above and below the calcarine sulcus on the medial surface of the occipital lobe. Visual information coming from the eye goes through the lateral geniculate nucleus in the thalamus and reaches the visual cortex. The information from the visual field is transferred to the lateral geniculate nucleus contralaterally. That is, from the right visual field, information goes to the left lateral geniculate nucleus. But from the lateral geniculate nucleus, information is carried to the cortex ipsilaterally. The Brodmann's area 17 contains the first visual area or the visual area 1. It is continuous with the Brodmann's area 18 and Brodmann's area 19, which are also known as visual association psychovisual areas, since the geniculocalcarine tracts terminates in this area also. Therefore, this area is also known as visual area 2nd and visual area 3rd. Visual area 1 helps in the reception and perception of isolated visual impressions of color, size, form, motion, transparency, etc. Visual area 2nd helps in correlation of the visual impulses with the past memories and recognition of objects seen and identifying it, and also helps in knowing the depth of the object. Therefore, we can say that the lesion of visual area 1 leads to homonymous hemianopia, that is, loss of vision in visual field of opposite area. Lesion of the visual area 2nd and 3rd leads to visual agnosia. Auditory cortex or the auditory area. It lies in the temporal lobe, that is, in the upper part of the superior temporal gyri, in the inferior wall of the posterior ramus of the lateral ventricle. It corresponds to Brodmann's area 41 and 42. Information from the ear, mainly from the organ of Corti, is being transferred to the contralaterally located medial geniculate body of thalamus after decussation. The decussation is actually incomplete. From the medial geniculate body, the information is transferred to the auditory cortex. The auditory radiation not only ends in the auditory area, that is in the first auditory area, but to the neighboring areas as well. These areas are known as auditory association area or the second auditory area. This lies in the superior temporal gyrus corresponding to Brodmann's area 22. This region is in contact with the Wernicke's area and has importance in language function. Auditory area 1 or the auditosensory helps in reception and perception of auditory impression of loudness, quality, pitch, and etc. and its lesion may therefore lead to impaired hearing. Auditory area 2 or the auditopsychic area helps in the correlation of auditory impression with the past memory and identification of the sound that's heard, and therefore its lesion may lead to auditory agnosia. Next is the gustatory cortex. The gustatory cortex is in the dorsal wall of the posterior ramus of lateral sulcus, with extension to the insula, and corresponds to Brodmann's area 43. The olfactory cortex is the portion of the cerebral cortex involved in olfaction and is found in association with the piriform lobe. Next is the vestibular cortex. It's the portion of the cerebrum that responds to the input from the vestibular system. Vestibular cortex is found close to the part of the post-central gyrus.